please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Samantha Sheraton.
Wait, so W1 was it? W is for what's up? About tree.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cecilia Zosudu.
You are not good? Okay.
Good evening once again.
Yeah.
My name is Dr. Rona. I'm a donor people. I'm an entrepreneur and a transformation coach.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Moses Rudabula Suru.
Okay. You have my time. We have very limited time because we want to go to serve, and then I also want to start with Mama. Mama read the book, finished it. But Mama, tell us something about the book and what do you need to tell? What do you think you should tell this? Okay, tell us your mind about. Okay, so you talk to parents. I know you talk to students. I've always listened to you. Now, what can we do? What efforts can we put across to unlock the minds of Ugandans?
Thank you very much, Pastor Semonako. I run a secondary school, and for many years, I understood that what our education stood for was not what Uganda needed. So last week we got a visitation, a divine visitation, because when a professor came back home and told me that he found a book in the office and he started reading it and just couldn't put it down. So I was curious. I said, but what kind of book would that be? I started reading and then anyway, I picked it up and I read. So what shocked me was that Dr. Bolingo put what I knew, what I understood to be real education on paper for me. I knew what we need to do, but I had never been able to translate it into, like, can someone read my mind, can someone dissect my mind and put something on paper so that we can begin to use it. So the education system that he's advocating is that people will go to school and learn to read.
We are Sheraton by 5. I had no idea what she was talking about. She didn't give me any context, so I really didn't come prepared to talk. So when you see me on my phone, I kindly don't think I'm on TikTok. It is true I wrote some notes to come and talk. And moreover, when Pastor came to my table and asked me to be part of the panel, my first thought was, so kindly, you leave me alone. I don't speak very well, so you choose someone else.
In fact, he told me exactly what Moses told God. And that's what I read in the man of God.
I remember that's exactly the same thing that Moses told God. But Moses decided to go in out of obedience. I remember very distinctly when my father was reading this book of Dr. Bolingo. He was so engrossed in it. There was a game going on. We were watching Africa Cup of Nations. It was, I believe it was late in the night. It was South Africa versus Cape Verde. And my father was so engrossed in the book that he didn't even know which side was which. He thought South Africa was the one in blue. So I just wanted to let you know, Dr. Bolingo, how engrossing your book was. Based on the speakers that have spoken, I really want to appreciate you, Dr. Bolingo, for showing how we are all different. We can't all fit in the same you can't fit a square peg in a circle. We are all different, and we all need different approaches to things. We have different personalities, we have different giftings, but we all have something to offer ultimately. My mother has a school called Everline College, as she has said, and she sometimes gives me the opportunity to teach an elective course. And I try to tell those children that follow your passion. Don't follow money. If you follow your passion, the money will follow, whatever it is. Whether it's fashion, whether it's... See, we grew up thinking that the main things were chemistry, commerce, mathematics, but I tell them whatever it is, whether it's folk, whether it is...
And that around you. Yeah, apart from that, there is nothing much you can do, because you don't know that actually we need a mindset change. So we need to move away from a fixed mindset and be open-minded to a growth mindset. And that's when we shall be able to recognize what we have and what we can do by resources that God has given us. I will mention a scripture in the Bible, Ephesians 2:10, that says the Lord's masterpiece, created in the image of God, to perform the good works that were long predestined. But until your mind is unlocked, you will never know what is before you and what was destined before you. So I believe this is a very, very instrumental book that we all need to unlock our minds and know what is within us and what has God called us to do in this world.
Now, the doctor has spoken. Now, doctor, tell us, in First Samantha, what is the chapter?
My name is once again Wilson. I am a Doctor of Philosophy, Theological Studies, also a Doctor of Philosophy, Organizational Leadership. I am an associate professor at California University. You see, with my brother, I'm most privileged because I'm the man behind the publication of the book with the Wisdom Publishers, crafted under my name, Wilson Wisdom. Yes, we only have God to clap for. You see, this is one of the most challenging topic of a book I've come across. Why? Because at the sight and mention of it, you agree with me that it sounds a mockery. Changing syllabus in the whole of African continent, and I believe having Dr. Ezra Sulman in the house is of great help for us to launch this book before him, because he's a trusted mind and head to help us taking further this request, and the rest are already in the building. I would also suggest that we not only launch it here, we make it a campaign with the committee members, including Mami here, we are the committee members, all of us here. Some of us are good writers. Let us even compose songs about mindset change. I wish musicians were here to hear this. To carry it along, we can do poems out of this mindset change, so that I look at it as a tool to help us fight the enemy of colonialism that attacked African countries many years ago. Kindly, all of you under the hearing of my voice, I request us to make this book a campaign. If you haven't read it, my goodness, you are missing out on a tool finally coming from a Congolese man, launching in Uganda, spreading all over Africa. I pray it doesn't get banned in the Europe. God bless you so much as we become the committee members of the selling of this book. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sister Samantha, how are you?
I'm okay.
Yes, for you I wanted to download all the question I had prepared for others. Okay, she's confident. So, that was a year. So also do that your view.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Dr. Bolingo and Roy on the publication of this book. I believe it's going to inspire very many people reading. And I'd also like to thank Dr. Bolingo and everyone here for the opportunity to speak before you. I don't take it lightly. For me, I think the first thing I'll share is that honestly, I did not know that when my dad went to school, and that's like probably 50s, 60s, when he was in secondary school, he studied the Canadian credits. I was in secondary in the 2000s, and I studied the Canadian credits. So the fact that the education system did not change that much, and things that were originally, yes, brought at the point of us gaining our independence and all that are still being passed down to a generation that is competing against students who are developing AI, who are developing, digitization of the future and making things happen, driving the narrative for where the world is going, are now we in Africa and Uganda are expected to compete with them, and yet our systems haven't changed. Our education keeps us locked into this hard mentality of you're either going to be a pilot, a lawyer, a doctor, a banker, or something in there, and we're not thinking outside the box. So when a book like this comes along and is challenging us to unlock our minds and see the possibilities and imagine the future, that's a great thing. That's a paradigm shift for Africa. So I think it's very challenging from the things that have been spoken here. We need to, yes, challenge ourselves, but also challenge the status quo. We need to be the champions of the change that we want to see. It's one thing to gather here and say, we're unlocking the mind, and then we walk out. Thank you for your views and your enlightenment, and I guess that's it for you.
Yeah, you know that you've spoken better than everyone. You've told us to make sure this book gets out of the 4 walls. How does it get out of Professor Suma's house to the community? You've also told me I should make sure it gets out of the wall of the church. You've also you've spoken great thing. Now these people are growing. You've done good work. And then I don't remember what size it was when I last came home. Because it's almost 10 years now or what? Not 20 or 3 in this spring. I had COVID and then at 10, these people were
to come and partner with us, because you have already said that I have a school, and it's I was the kind of school where parents brought their children to spite me. Like this child, no way, nothing can come out of this child. He got 36 in his second. And I said, don't worry, leave him alone. So there's no problem. And I can tell you that we just had great success, because I understood that every child, every human being can be changed.
For them, 2, 3, we go. That is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Professor, thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Arturo, and Mr. and Mrs. Boringo for the great work you have done. That is powerful. We need a that picture. Okay, we may be seated, and let us have that picture. It will go into, let us have that picture. Fast spray. We're supposed to make this better. Someone? Why would you go behind me? You go to Mageno. Mageno, yes.